And the £50 billion HS2 high-speed rail link is going to come a step closer. It came a step closer, of course, after a second reading of the bill in Parliament last month. Today, a committee of MPs tasked with ensuring the fairest solution for everyone involved, if it happens, is making a trip to some of the areas affected in North Warwickshire. It's the High-Speed Rail Bill Select Committee, and we can talk to their chair. Robert Syms joins us on the show. Morning, Robert.
Good morning.
Are you going to look at all of the areas that the line takes in, or just certain hotspots today?
No, just certain hotspots today. We originally were going to look at a lot more, but to be honest, we couldn't do it justice. There are so many, as you said in your introduction a few minutes ago, there are so many pieces of infrastructure that need to go in and already in North Warwickshire and in Birmingham, West Midlands, that we'll have our first day today in the West Midlands, and probably a further day to go a little farther up north in Staffordshire, and then probably another day in the autumn looking at some of the rural areas of Warwickshire. It's important for us to have a look to see what impact the project may have, and when we are weighing up the arguments in committee between petitioners and promoter, I think we'll be able to make much better judgments.
Is it a serious look, though? I mean, it sounds like, pardon the pun, but it sounds like a whistle-stop tour, and is that going to be enough? Surely you need to look at this in greater detail, and a lot of people we spoke to who oppose HS2 didn't even know you were coming.
Well, it has been on the web and it has been publicised, and it has been indeed on the BBC TV, but as always, people have lived busy lives, they didn't always know what's going on. This is the first visit. There'll be a number of other visits, and clearly if we have to come back and look at something, we can easily do that. I think you can get an impression if you go and have a look and give a 360-degree look. It will be possible today for us to talk to some of the local residents if people come out and make themselves known. If they see us around, clearly there'll be the odd television camera, then no doubt that knowing Midlanders as I do, they will not be slow to come forward with their views.
Let's bring in Joe Rukin, who's from Stop HS2, who's with us. Morning, Joe.
Morning, Shane.
Did you know that Robert was and his team were coming up today?
Yeah, we're obviously quite involved with the petitioning process, so we knew. Obviously, it's only recently that the exact number of sites that they were going to was published, and of course, as he said, originally they were meant to be doing Lichfield as well today, and so it's good that the list of places has been cut down so that they can spend more time at the places that they're going. They're going from.
Although, what does that mean, Robert? Does that mean Lichfield is missed out, or?
No. It means we just do it at a later date. I mean, there's all the sites are important. They're all going to have a very big impact. I think we all realise that, and I think it's important that we take a little bit more time looking at these things when we're having a look around. And we'll be meeting a number of local MPs as we go around, or staff of local MPs. So we're trying to involve as far as possible people that represent the area. We want to listen to what people have to say. We want to have a good look. And if we don't get the time today to look at all we want to look at, then we will be back. So I suspect my committee will be up and down the railway to the Midlands quite a lot to have a look and again, to inform our judgment about decisions that need to be taken. The overall principle, of course, is something for government and for Parliament. Our job is more circumspect. It's to weigh up the promoters' arguments and the petitioners' arguments, and I expect Mr. Rukin will be very much part of that process in one way or another.
Is it enough for you, Joe? Is it in depth enough? I mean, to me, it doesn't. You'd think you would thoroughly go in sort of, in order, in geographical order, to the places you need to visit, and you get an overall picture, and you do it for as long as it takes if you were serious about doing it. What are your thoughts?
Well, they are going in geographical order, but obviously you've got to remember that the spur into Birmingham sticks out. So you either start at Birmingham or start at Staffordshire and then come back to one or the other. I think that, having looked at what's happened so far, in that a timetable was originally put up that included too much on it, and some of that's been cut back and they'll come back another day. I have a feeling that what's going to happen today is the committee may well realise that the amount of places that they're looking at is possibly a little bit optimistic, but they've got plenty of time to come back, and that's the thing.
But that's not doing it in geographical order, though, is it then? That's my point, is that if you make a plan in geographical order and you have a grasp of what it's going to entail first off, it saves you bopping up and down and backwards and forwards, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, well they are going to do it in geographical order. It's just a question of how.
Apart from the bits that they miss out.
Well, if you remember 4 years ago, Shane, I was sending out press releases when Lizzie Williams was walking the route, and at the start we were slightly optimistic on how much ground she could cover, and obviously we changed the plans as a result because she thought I can manage this much ground in a day, but in reality she ended up stopping and talking to too many people and taking too much note. Well, taking more note of the scenery and the landscape that she saw as she walked. So, when we approached this, what I'm saying is when we approached this, we were highly optimistic at how much ground you could cover in a day when you're looking at the route. And I think that the committee will find the same thing, that they've probably got to have to spend more days, take longer to do it, but they've got plenty of time, so I'm not particularly worried about that at all.
Robert, final point to you. Have we reached that line yet where we stop calling it the proposed HS2 and just accept that it is now a fait accompli and the consultation, however good you think that was, is over?
Well, the Parliament has decided the principle, and it seems to be supported by all the major parties. We will report back. Clearly, there will be a window of opportunity in the next Parliament between whichever party or parties are in government to have, to review whether I want to proceed or not. I suspect it will, but that's beyond my pay grade. My specific job is really to try and weigh up the very difficult personal and business interests that are affected by this particular proposal. I mean, Joe's right, we have 2 years. It's like we're unlikely to be able to get through the petitions in less than that, and that even 2 years might be optimistic. We will be up and down plenty of times, and what really comes out when we do visits is that people say, well, actually, you really ought to look at something else. And clearly the list of visits will grow as we plough through this particular process.